Okay, there we go.
All right, the meeting is called to order at 6:12 for the SAB October 16th meeting. Greg, do you have sound yet?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
So we had a check-in. I think we'll just check in only if you have something that pertains to the advisory board at this point. Nope. Okay, we will move past the check-in. And have you had a chance to look at the September meetings, whatever date that was? Is there anybody who I would like to move to approve those? Do I get a second? Thank you.
Second.
All right.
Seconded. Roberto, okay.
Seconded. Yep.
All right. And then all those in favor to approve the September minutes?
Yes.
All right. We have full approval. Now, basically, first thing on our agenda is to look at the city council joint meeting. Most of us were present for.
Yeah.
Except Greg, you were in France. I'm so happy. So, Roberto, do you feel like starting to talk about what happened at the city council update?
Yeah, I think, we summarized the summary and recommendations from Parametrics Consulting.
Mm-hmm.
We exposed that to the council, and including the mayor and the manager and others and public. I think they take it as a continuity of what we've been discussed before with them, as a refresh, and they are considering many points like Rob was exposing ideas about expanding EV charging stations, and that was taken very greatly. You discuss about like requesting from the council a commitment, and they say after consideration, I think we reiterated that after considering and reviewing the details of the parametrics recommendation, they will expose or confirm what is the commitment they're going to be pursuing to these points. But I think they know it's important. Yeah, go ahead.
There's always budget considerations in making these kinds of commitments.
Yeah, exactly.
It has to be. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I don't know. I think we discussed all the points. I'll be probably redundant if I go again through them, and I don't have them right now handy. But I think that was it. I don't know, Robert, you want to say anything?
Yeah, I mean, that's good. That's probably as much as we need. I think the only thing that we added was, what was it? I've forgotten the term. We would probably discuss this year what was the term? Carousailer suggested, as opposed to
a dashboard of some kind. Was that it?
Yeah, right. Come on, I've got to look it up.
Take your time. This happens to me.
Yeah. Hold on a sec here, Kara.
Do you want to come back to it?
Yeah, let's come back to it.
All right. Yeah, I thought it was interesting when I asked to change the wording to if the council could commit to incorporating sustainability. Mary said, well, wording's important.
But
yeah, it's the money. And I know it's not for want of interest on the part of the council. I know that.
Yeah.
I mean, the entire council is very pro sustainability, but again,
Yeah.
it has to be balanced with what we can do under the law and what we can do under a budget.
How frustrating is that, Lou?
Um, well, our budget is tight, and so it's hard to do new initiatives. Almost, we have to drop something else in order to do something new.
I was tempted to say in the middle of that joint session, what can we do to bring more business to West Lynn so we have a better tax base?
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, there isn't a lot of new buildable land in West Lynn. So, um, we're trying to get some more businesses, and businesses don't directly contribute to taxes because it's basically a real estate tax. So it's the landlord who contributes. But, if you have businesses, you'll have landlords.
No, I don't know anything about any of it. So what can you do to get a better tax base?
Well, there may well be levies on the ballot, which are ways of getting additional funds. And those have to be passed by the voters.
Say
Yeah.
that again. There may be a what?
Levies, which is sort of a special tax, but it must be approved by the voters. It'll be for specific purposes. I mean, one of our priorities, for example, is getting more people on the police force. They are extremely tightly staffed right now, but it may take a levy to get
Oh,
enough
levy,
taxes
sorry.
to do that.
Got it. Right.
Huh. Okay. Well, I guess there's not much we can do about that tonight, but it's like having more 7-Elevens isn't going to do it, huh?
Not directly.
Yeah, I'm using that as a category, not an actual. Yeah.
Yeah, because the landlords pay the taxes whether or not their places are occupied. So it's an indirect effect.
Huh. All right. Well, in that case, I guess I would just say that what I understood leaving that meeting was that things are pretty much being done, moving along at a pace that is doable. It's not terribly frustrating. It's not really satisfying. It's just coming along, and we just need as a board to keep poking, keep our presence known. But
Agreed.
I wouldn't say a lot happened other than I left feeling like, well, at least people are trying.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my summary.
Yeah. Yeah. So energy reporting requirement. That's what we talked about. Remember? So exactly. Yeah. Building
Yeah.
the dash.
The ERR,
Yeah.
which
but-
was, I think, your idea, Rob, and
Yeah. It comes from Carrie. And she said it's not glamorous. It's a start. It's a way of sort of asking businesses to report their we can use Milwaukee or Portland as a model, and it's not but given, after the meeting, actually, Roberto and I had a conversation with Dylan, and I didn't realize how thinly spread Dylan is, so it's, I don't know where he'd find time to even do this. So
Right. Yeah.
it was, yeah.
Well, okay. Shall we move on to thinking about what we want to do for the meeting next month in November, which is when we pull together the annual report?
Yep.
Are we ready to do that?
Yes.
I cannot find any copies in my possession of any previous annual reports that are after 2022. I have some previous to that. So I don't know I'd like a backbone to layer things onto. Does anybody know if you have one tucked around somewhere?
I'm sure that I've got it on my computer. I'll just have to find it and I'll send it to you.
Okay. Because without that, I'm not sure how to even start this conversation as to what well, I mean, it's clear we can go through our minutes from the year and see what we've done and see what's left to do that we want to work on next year.
Another resource might be Kathy Molesky. She's a city recorder, and she
Awesome.
basically keeps, is the keeper of the files of the city. If there was a formal report sent to the city, I'm sure she has it.
Okay. She would have the annual report.
If it was submitted to the city, yes.
Well, yes, because there's no point in making one without submitting it to the city. So, yeah.
And
Okay.
Dylan generally has them all too.
Who has more time, Dylan or Kathy?
I would
Right.
say Kathy, or I could help with that as well.
Okay. But Greg, you think you've got it anyway?
Yeah,
Last year's? Okay. Do you want to send it to all of us?
I'll see if I can find it.
Okay. I mean, you've got time. It'd be nice to have it in the next couple of weeks so we can look at it before. I'd like a structure before we start next month at next month's meeting, so we know what we're getting into and not just start shuffling papers and doing it from cold turkey. Makes for a better meeting. As long as we're thinking of that, do we want to meet in person? It's been since here in June that we met in person. We okay with that?
Sure.
Okay, I can try to get a room at no, we usually do it at the city hall. That seems to be
Yes,
easy
I'm sure.
feeling.
I'm sure you can get
Okay,
one of the conference rooms.
all right.
No chance of having the meeting in Paris, though, is there?
Oh, we did one year at the Adult Community Center, and it was kind of fun. But yeah, so that's fine. All right, I'll get a room then for November. Warning to those of you who haven't done this before, it's potluck. So we'll start at maybe half an hour early. Does that sound okay?
Yep.
All right. So I don't, other than making sure we all have a copy of last year's annual report and asking all of us to look at that and be ready for the meeting in November. I don't know what else we can do here tonight. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thanks. So then we have group action items, and the first of the three items was to electrify America and Walmart, and looking at those, and Mayor Rory B was pretty excited that we would actually help a little bit with that, make a contact. And then we got a map. Who sent that map? Rob, did you send that map?
I did, and I'm trying to find the email that I sent. I can't find it in my email. It's crazy.
I looked at it pretty closely a couple of times.
It's a
And
grant program.
right. And that's okay. That would be an interesting thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at it, there's really no public property there except for up by Safeway and the city hall.
Right.
All the rest of that is just private homes.
Yep.
I can't tell if the stores at the bottom of the hill are included in that. On the map, I don't have it with me. I tried to memorize it a few days ago.
I was trying to find it again. I cannot believe I didn't. Jeez. That's
Yeah.
so weird.
I'm using someone else's iPad in another town. I just don't have my stuff. But it seems like then that would mean we couldn't have one at Market of Choice, which is right off the freeway. I mean, we could still do that. We could still inquire about the other places that are close to the freeway. I think that's what we need to look at. Maybe not. Maybe the three places that we identified already that are along the corridor of Westland or Long Skinny Town. So So we could do both. We could look into the grant for the one that you found, Rob, and we could also look to Electrify America and Walmart and kind of divide and conquer that way.
Sure.
Well, I think there's a business proposition for any mall or basically, it will attract customers who, if they've got to park their car for a half hour or an hour to get recharged, are going to wander into the stores.
That's right.
So,
Yeah, that's what Walmart is doing right now.
Hmm.
All over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wouldn't even know how to approach Walmart, but it can't be that hard. What I was thinking was, if a couple of people would like to look at the grant and see if it's even doable, how much work that really entails, and if a couple of people would like to look at Electrify America, we could get a start on it.
Yep. Yep.
It would
I mean,
require-
I'm willing to talk to the store manager of the local one. He probably does not have the authority, but he can probably point to me upstream.
Yeah. Point
Somebody
to
who
the right-
does.
Yeah.
that'd be awesome. That'd be great. Okay.
And if somebody would send me the email I sent
Oh no.
back to me. I'll chase down the details on this.
think-
That's just bizarre. I can't
Okay.
find the.
I
I
think.
wonder if I send it out of trash, and that's the problem.
Oh. Okay.
Because Lou, you even replied to it, and I can't even find your reply, Lou. It's weird. The strangest.
Here it is.
There it is. Yeah, ODOT announces. There it is. Yay!
Did you find it?
I did. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I mean, I can, investigate this a little bit before our November meeting and see if there's if it's feasible at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, and probably also the real estate, like whoever is in charge of that strip mall that is market of choice, and market of
Yep.
choice, like because they will like driving customers, right? Like
Oh
to-
yeah,
to
and
the-
there's a huge parking lot there. There's plenty of
they
space.
should be
Since they tore down the old post
making the
office.
request. Yeah.
Yeah, excuse
Yeah.
me. Sorry. Okay. So Rob, you'll see if that's feasible. And
Yep.
Lou, you're gonna look at talk to the manager at the
Walmart, yeah.
at the
I'm in
Walmart.
there every other day anyway. So.
That's
And-
great. Yeah, I think I've only been in there once in the last 3 years. So it's just not my neighborhood, so I don't go. And I'm down at Market of Choice enough that I could ask them how to contact. I could ask the manager how to contact the owner of that whole strip mall thing. It's not possible. I may have to mute. Sorry, things are going on here. Dinner's arriving. So that sounds like we could start that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next item there was implementation of a green bond program, and I'm going to mute myself, and you guys want to talk about what you remember from that, and I can unmute anytime, but we'll figure this out.
Do we remember anything? If we're going to investigate that, somebody's going to have to
Yeah.
do some initial research to figure out what that would look like.
I'm game to do some research about that, and that I can bring that to the next meeting, and that could be one of the things that would be part of our proposal for the next year in terms of goals, would be to kind of clarify what those possibilities are, and then try to present them to the city council.
Okay.
But yeah, let's make that a goal and not something we're trying to do right now. For 2026. Yeah, I like that. Oh, excuse me.
Okay.
So
What's next on our agenda here?
is new members for the SAB. And, you know, Greg, I think you've already done your turn on that. It's really hard. Folks I've asked have either joined immediately or said, nah, can't do that. So it's not like it's something that's new to try. I've been working on it over the years, you know, I've been aware that it'd be nice to have more folks.
So I guess Lou, do you know whether city council people have any thoughts about citizens that they would like to potentially tap for the SAB?
No, at this point, we're very open. I mean, obviously, we want somebody who's really interested in sustainability and the environment. And
Do you
who's
have
willing
any
to devote some time.
suggestions? Do you guys have any suggestions about people that we should approach? Like both Victoria and I were asked by a city council person whether we would join. And I think, finding, having that kind of link to the citizenry would be useful. Because we've really, fortunately, both Roberto and Rob joined this year, but it's been tough to find folks.
Okay, I don't have any names offhand. Let me think about it and go through my contact list and
Yeah.
see who might be interested.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
And Rob and Roberto, do you have any thoughts about people that might be useful to approach?
No,
Yeah.
I'm not very social here. I don't have a lot of network. I'm gonna ask a couple of friends that live on the other side of the city, and there's a lawyer that works at Intel. Let me ask him. Maybe his wife also might be interested.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the same. Well, I guess I can ask a couple of friends. I mean, I don't think they would necessarily themselves be interested, but if they know anybody, their circle of friends in Westland, so yeah.
Yeah, I know about, I'm in contact with about 60 people at the community garden, but I only see 1 or 2 people when I'm down there to talk to and get to know. The rest of them are all people on a mailing list, you know, and folks at a work party that I don't really, so I don't have a strong network of people.
Well, what do you think about sending just an inquiry out to people on the mailing list for the community garden and see like whether you might be able to find somebody who would be interested?
Westland needs you.
Yeah, right.
I'm writing that down. Part of the problem with that is that we try to limit the use of the email to business only for gardeners because there's just so much stuff that comes in your email container that I discourage people from using that list to do other things. So I will ask the other managers if they feel okay about that, and then I will do it. But I've checked with them.
It's a good cause.
There's also the Facebook for the sustainability group in West Lynn, who mostly that's recycling, but that's what they call themselves. There must be somebody on that. There are what, 100 people on that?
I would be happy to contact whoever the person is who does that Facebook page, but since I don't have Facebook, if somebody could send me that contact information, then I'll try to get in touch.
I don't do Facebook.
Neither do I.
Martin says he's
Never
listening.
have.
Martin can look it up. He's listening. So you will look up the West Lynn Facebook sustainability folks. Thank you.
Great. And then just, if I can just have an email address, then I'll get in touch with them.
Okay. I think I think a lot of those folks don't even know that there is an advisory board, and that would be at least some kind of education for them to say this is what there is, and we're open to more people. Okay.
They might be interested in the annual report that you're receiving.
Mhm.
Put it on Facebook.
Lou, could you talk to other members of the city council and see like whether they know of anybody that they would like to recommend for the SAB?
Actually, I've been getting emails from them asking me to fill
Oh,
positions
right.
on various
no.
advisory groups. So I don't have to ask them.
Good. So
Great.
in a difficult position here.
Hmm. Okay. I think we've covered those. There's new business, and darn it, there was something we were going to put into new business, and I don't remember what it was. Was it something you had going, Rob? I don't remember.
I think it actually was the community charging program that we talked about the
Okay.
yeah.
Because the only thing we have besides that is the leadership roles and how we're going to manage carrying through the next year. Really, we are really only 5 people because Kate doesn't attend very often, and she cannot do leadership. She's overwhelmed with her family as it is. And Mike Carlson is also right now overwhelmed with family. I think the baby's 2 months old now. So it's going to be up to the 4 of us to look and say, what can we do about the leadership? And of course, I mean, we're filling in for Dan since he left. So we need somebody to at least take his place interim. But it'd be good if we knew what we wanted to do next year as well. We need somebody interim until December. Greg, I think I remember that Dylan said it would be okay if you stayed on interim this year.
Right. And so I figured I'd do it this month and, through December. And I think my preference would be primarily just to take notes and kind of help out with that.
That's a big job.
Yeah.
That's a lot. So that means that we need either you, Rob, or you, Roberto, to consider being a co-chair next year and to fill out the rest of Dan's term, which was this year and next year. I'm pretty sure.
Roberto, you eager to do it?
You don't have to talk about it tonight. You can think about it and decide and bring word the next meeting. Are you okay with that, Greg?
Yeah.
Okay. Think it over. But I think it's up to basically figuring it's like, okay, it's like that's how we did the chair in our department at Clackamas Community. It was short straw.
So what am I thinking over, Victoria?
No, you're not. Roberto
Okay.
and Rob.
Roberto's thinking
Yeah,
over, right.
Roberto and I have to do this. Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys go meet somewhere in Thumb Wrestle and let us know what happens.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll bug you, Roberto.
I was in mute. Yeah. Was it? Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah, you were quiet there.
I was just talking by myself for myself in this room.
this is a short meeting tonight. I don't think we're really prepared to discuss what the things that we want to talk about. We don't. So we're just going to have a darn good conversation in November as we put together the annual report.
I'd suggest maybe doing at least some brainstorming about any other things that people are interested in trying to address in 2026.
Yeah, let's do that. Why not?
And if nothing else, just kind of capture some possibilities.
I'd like to be more supportive of the people who are working on the wetlands off of Fifth Avenue. or is it Fifth Street? I would put that on my part of the notes that, and how we can support them. Because if that doesn't have to do with sustainability, nothing does.
We had a recent hearing on the
Oh.
wetlands project, and part of it was changing some of the boundaries of basically to reflect the latest maps on wetlands. Apparently, some of the earlier maps were obsolete,
Uh-huh.
and that will reduce the area that is permitted for housing construction, for example.
Oh,
Mm.
that's good.
Hmm.
Okay.
And Lou, I didn't hear the first part of that. Were those the more recent FEMA flood
We
maps?
had a hearing about a week ago
I-
on the wetlands.
I just checked the FEMA wetland plan, and I downloaded it.
Okay, well, the point is, they
Yeah.
were apparently working off some older maps, and they've now reflecting essentially the latest data on
Uh-huh.
wetlands.
What does that do to the developer who wanted to build all those duplexes?
Well, he builds them subject to the law, which says he cannot encroach on wetland.
Mhm.
So the city can't just arbitrarily rezone and say, you can't build there. There has to be some rationale. And in
That's
this
fair.
case, what?
That's fair.
So I think there's still some buildable land along Fifth Avenue, but it's less than there was before.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And I'll just look into it more because I want to know, besides the development, there's also the cleaning up aspect of it, which sounds expensive. And who pays for that?
Well, first of all, it's right now private land. The southern pond belongs to to a real estate developer. The northern pond belongs to PGE.
Oh, right.
So
Uh,
in the first instance, it's the private owner who's responsible for cleaning up, but they're not going to do it unless forced to. Beyond that, there are various grants. The EPA might be a source of grants. We're looking at those sorts of things. But
Uh-huh.
even there, they prioritize things. They're not going to go after private land before public land, for example.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and the last number we saw, which is almost 10 years old for the southern pond, was about $10 million to clean it up. I'm sure inflation has increased that number in the last 10 years.
Yeah, 25 million now.
I would not be surprised. So that's a lot of money.
Isn't that more than the freeway bridge?
The freeway bridges was over $1 billion, $1.5 billion, something like that. No,
Yeah.
but still,
Yeah, it's a huge
it's
amount.
expensive to clean up pollution.
Yeah.
And also there's apparently some information that the original berm that's containing the pollution is deteriorating, and there may be leakage coming out of there. So
Yeah, welcome to Tri-Cities. Okay. Just like the Trojan, not the Trojan plant. We just drove by that today. The one on the Columbia. Hanford, welcome to Hanford, leaking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
not quite on the same scale, but it is big for West Lynn scales.
Mhm.
I'm glad you can laugh about it. Okay. Okay. That's I want to keep our awareness going on the wetlands and see if there's anything we can do to help with it. Probably not much, but we can at least be supportive of those who are doing the heavy haul. What else would we want to think about that we would want to do next year?
Given the conversation at the city council meeting about the public works building, it's clear that again, limitations of budget, making sure there are sustainable features. I suspect it wouldn't be a bad thing for us to sort of bird dog that. That is, make it a topic we come back to periodically and just ask for an update on what's happening, without being obtrusive and obnoxious, but making sure that they know that we're there pushing for that.
Rob, I totally agree with you. I think it is necessary to sort of keep the pressure on. But at the same time, I think the entire council and the mayor are trying to make it as, ecologically friendly as we can.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
there's keeping pressure on and there's being supportive of what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if what we do is come and be supportive 3 or 4 times a year, every other month, what's too much?
I don't know. I mean, letting the council know that they have support is useful. Yes.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just kind of asking what's happening, and I suspect sharing it with community, more broadly with the community is also helpful. Just to let folks know, hey, look, doing the very best we can given the limitations we're facing. So
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's a couple of ongoing things that we can make sure to do, and it's going to take us a lot of time just to work on. I'm finding the Electrify America and Walmart thing and getting that going, and maybe the grant. That sounds like actually a fair amount of work already.
And Lou, where do things stand with regard to the revision of the tree code? The kind of the second stage that Megan had talked about when it
Okay,
when
we
it
had
first
one
came to the
set of
council.
hearings on it. And I mean, the next step is that we're going to implement various changes. And I think we still have to formally pass it, but I think
Uh-huh.
it's pretty much in final state now.
And
Okay.
and that was the revision primarily for current property owners rather than for developers with
That's
regard
true.
to the CDC.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm curious about where things stand with the CDC.
My feeling was that the planning group was going to be staging things. So first they had to do it for private homeowners, and the
Right.
next stage would be for developers.
Yeah.
But I think there's some commonality. The definition of what is a tree and things is common in
Sure.
both, I think. These are legal documents. You got to define everything.
Right.
All right.
mhm.
I'm okay if what we do is continue working and not have a whole lot of new things on the docket. I'm okay with that. As
Yep.
if we find that we don't have enough, then we can add more. But I'm also, be thinking about it and bring more ideas to the next meeting. I like your idea of brainstorming tonight. It gets us going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if we have other ideas between now and the next meeting, let's bring them forward.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Mhm. Um, Greg, how are you doing with the note taking? Are you managing okay? My question is leading to, do you want to go over action items before we adjourn, or do you want to wait and put those in the minutes?
I'll just put them in the minutes.
Okay. And,
Oh, they're in the minutes, but I'll just highlight them.
yeah, and I'm okay with taking pretty rudimentary notes and turning them into minutes. You don't have to take the time to do that if you don't want to. It's up to you.
I'll do what I did last time. So I'll just send them out to everybody in a few days.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
great.
thank
Really
you.
helpful.
That's
Appreciate
yeah,
it.
it's wonderful. Yeah. All right. I think Mike Carlson will be back. I'll lean on him to come to the November meeting.
But he
You
had
can
said
hold
he
a
was going to
baby
be
for
at this
their
one.
meeting.
Wait, Greg, what'd you say?
Oh, Mike had said he'd be at this meeting, but I can imagine that things come up, makes it hard.
He called and said things are pretty busy, and he
Okay.
had things he had to do. Kept
Yeah.
it vague.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's having to do with parenting and babying.
Right.
They're so cute. They're so cute. They're overwhelmed with this thing in their house. Well, I'm going to suggest that we adjourn this meeting early. We've encouraged each other and we've moved along a bit. We didn't get a lot done, but I feel like we'll be in pretty good shape to get a lot done in November.
Let me just mention one thing. I'm part of a group that meets every 6 or 7 weeks to talk about climate change issues. And tomorrow we're going to be talking about things that are going right. And the person who organized this particular session pulled together a really useful set of resources, including one that looks at just a variety of things globally that kind of either encourage or discourage movement towards sustainability. And it had a variety of really useful examples in it. So I'll send that out to everybody if you care to take a look at it.
Oh, please.
It
This sounds
was
wonderful.
a valuable piece of information.
One of the things the Trump administration has done is it killed a project that has been collecting data since 1959 on carbon dioxide levels
Right.
Yeah.
on the island of Hawaii. And it's a continuous data set. I don't know if it's daily or weekly of carbon dioxide levels, but it's more or less the official CO2 level for the atmosphere worldwide. Killed the program. They're no longer collecting data.
Yep. Mauna Loa Observatory. That's right. Yep.
Yeah, the Mauna Loa thing.
Point
So
of information.
that's why we ended up doing this session tomorrow, just to try to give ourselves some level of encouragement. But I was amazed with what Keola had found. So I figured it would be useful just for everybody to take a look at.
Yeah, and to encourage people a little more. So the Superfund, I don't know that I explained all that last. So in the last legislative session, there was an attempt to get a Superfund bill passed. It died in committee, but apparently Senator Golden and Senator Pham are going to push it again in the new session, which is a little surprising, the short session, in
Wow.
part because the Trump administration it looks like it's working hard to maybe even force legislation through the House and the Senate to prohibit those kinds of laws. So we're hoping to beat them to the punch. So
Yeah, Senator Golden's pretty awesome. I'm unfamiliar.
yeah, it's great. But anyway, yeah, point of information, just worth noting.
Yeah, I want to see this, Greg.
Okay.
I think I'll print it and frame it. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
All right.
Any more new business? Any more?
Yeah, I think we have pending the tree, Victoria, the tree inventory, and that initiative with the support with the Oregon Forestry. Also, I think Greg wanted to narrow it down to the minimum. Let's look for possible pests that are affecting our trees. So we can make that assessment using that tool with the support of the Oregon Forestry and some academics. But I think it's just doing it and going there. But we can discuss more later offline.
I know our Parks Department is monitoring at least a couple of pest infestations. So,
Correct. Yeah. I think it's concerning, so we can help with that.
Would you suggest we talk to Parks Department first then?
We did already.
Oh,
and
okay.
They
'Cause I know-
expose a possible program, that we can possibly adopt, but it has to be like maybe academics, maybe students, community involved.
I confess I lost track of, it's been too long and I did lose track of what that program was and how to.
Okay, I can share more information. I can send you an update on that.
Okay.
if you send it to me too, I'd appreciate
Yes, yeah, I'll send an email with.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
prepared.
they're watching the elm beetle because they had a fit when I ordered some bark dust, some bark chips for the garden. They said, no, we have to know what that is. I said, okay. It's cedar, thank goodness. But next time I'll make sure I let you know when we're getting bark chips because they're on it.
Yep.
Okay, will do. Thank you all. Thanks for making it tonight.
it. Thank you.
Thank you all. Yeah.
All right, meeting is adjourned at 6:57.